What's up, y'all? Forward Fabian. We are back with some TikTok videos, man. Some TikTok reactions. Go ahead and comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this and subscribe to the channel. Let's go ahead and hop right into it, man.
This is why you should always keep pictures of your parents. A little girl named Olivia, who lived a very quiet life, decided to check her homework assignments that were posted online. The teacher posted that they needed to write down their favorite memory with their family as well as bring a photograph. Olivia then writes about how her and her mom play dolls every night in the basement before bed and that she has a lot of fun doing so. She finishes her paragraph and then looks in her dad's drawer for a photograph of mom. She only found pictures of her mom from high school but decided to use it anyway. Olivia goes to bed and wakes up the next morning. Once she arrives at school, the teacher then says, "Let's start presenting our project." Then the teacher called Olivia's name to present. Olivia then begins to read about how her and her mom play dolls every night and then pulls out the photograph. As soon as Olivia pulled out the photograph, her teacher's face goes numb. She then asks Olivia if she can take a closer look at the photograph. She then recognized her mom as one of her previous students. Then the teacher asks, "Where did you get this photo?" Olivia says, "My dad keeps them in his drawer." The teacher, shocked, sits down Olivia and pulls out an old newspaper. The newspaper headline, "Local high school teen murdered, boyfriend gone missing." The teacher then looks at Olivia and says, "Your mom has been dead for 14 years.
This is why you should never
Come on, man. That one was pretty dramatic, to say the least, man. So Pops is a murderer? What ain't?
explore abandoned ships. In 2014, the US Navy decided to decommission one of its oldest ships, so it brought it into port to be broken down for scrap. Before workers were allowed to actually start breaking it down, the foreman had to go on board and take pictures of every room. So late one night, the foreman spends about an hour walking through this abandoned ship with a flashlight, taking about 100 pictures. When he was done, he emailed the pictures to his boss, who quickly wrote back, "Who's the guy with the axe?" The foreman had no idea what he was talking about, but he noticed the boss had attached one of the pictures that he had just sent him. When he opened it, he nearly fainted. There, in the bowels of the ship, poking his head around a corner, was a faceless man wielding an axe. The foreman had spent over an hour in this hallway and never heard or saw this guy. The Navy searched the ship and never found this guy. They also reviewed security footage of the only entrance, and he never entered or left the ship.
Come on, man. He was probably a homeless dude just living on the ship. It happens. You need a place to, lay his head to rest. But kind of remind me of the movie Ghost Ship. If you haven't seen Ghost Ship, it can get like that, to say the least. That movie can get like that.
Creepy historical photos that will haunt your nightmares, part 3. Back in the day, plague doctor outfits used to have extremely large noses, which held herbs and other nicely scented items which were believed to ward off the bad air which contained the sickness. The man who took this photo was Harvey Glatman, a serial killer in the 50s who posed as a professional photographer in order to lure models into his home. He then tied up, photographed, and strangled them, and was known as the Glamour Girl Slayer. Violet of Edinburgh was voted the scariest woman alive in 1882 and 1884. She was a part of a vampire group in the UK, where its members would summon the dead and have to donate their blood in order to get in. This is the Beast of Jersey.
Man, I was watching a clip earlier today, and it was a woman talking about how the U.S. probably is the country with the most, ongoing witchcraft in the world. You know what I mean? And this woman was from Africa. I don't know what specific country in Africa, but Africa is known for its witchcraft. A lot of other places as well, places in the Caribbean, Haiti, things of that sort. But this lady was emphasizing, no, you're highly mistaken. Yeah, Africa has got its witchcraft going on, but in America, it's probably like the biggest melting pot for a lot of this witchcraft because it's normalized. It's normalized into, a day-to-day routine to where people think it's just a part of the culture. Tarot cards, readings, palm readings, crystals and herbs. Wearing my crystal. Hey, girl. It's like, bro, all of that is some wickedness. You know what I mean? If you look at the real root of it, some paganistic type of stuff going on, to keep it a beansky. But yeah, it's only in America to where it's normalized and made cutesy and cool. And all these other places, man, they know what they're doing. They know what they're dealing with. But I say all that to say, dude was talking about ladies in a vampire cult doing black magic. What dang? It's only here in America to where you have the white. It's not in America, but it's only in more modern times to where I'm a white witch. I practice good witchcraft. It's like, man, if you don't get your
summon the dead and have to donate their blood in order to get in. This is the Beast of Jersey, who would break into homes and rape women and children. He was convicted of 13 counts of sexual assault, rape, and sodomy. This is Mrs. Shalafo, who faced poverty and was evicted from her apartment in 1948. She then had to sell her 4 children on the streets of Chicago. Here are some photos taken. She then had to sell her 4 children on the streets of Chicago.
Let's just leave it there.
Here are some photos taken right before disaster, part 13. This photo was taken at the Burning Man festival. He decided it was a good idea to run into the burning effigy. And just like you would think, he burned to death. That was the last photo ever taken of him. This photo shows 14-year-old Keith Sapsford. He hid in the wheel of a flight leaving Sydney towards Japan. The photo was taken by John Gilspin. He was testing his new camera lens out and ended up getting the last moments of Keith's life. This is the last photo ever taken of
Imagine that. Sydney to Japan. Like, it's one thing if you're on a 30-minute, I don't even know, an hour flight. Maybe you can hold on. Sydney to Japan, good luck, brother. Good luck. I don't know if there's a compartment to where you can kind of wield yourself in there and get locked in as, the wheels retract. But what was he thinking?
and ended up getting the last moments of Keith's life. This is the last photo ever taken of Geraldine. She decided it was a good idea to go on a hiking expedition all alone. Her body was only discovered 2 years after she initially disappeared. When her body was found, it was discovered that she had survived some 20 plus days after she initially went missing. She had likely died of starvation and exposure to the elements. She had attempted to contact her husband with a text, asking him to call authorities, so she knew she was gonna die. Pretty sad.
20 days is...
Now, this is one scary story from a friend of mine about the lads' school in Exeter, Rhode Island. Back when she was in high school, there was an abandoned insane asylum that was just down the road from where she lived. And this place was rumoured to be extremely haunted. Now, this place was opened in 1907, but was said to be closed down because of the horrible things that were happening to patients. Kids would always be sneaking into the property to have a look around because everything had been just left behind. But they'd have to park in the woods nearby because it was private property and patrolled by state police. One night a group of her friends decided to all go there, but she had a bad feeling, but just thought maybe it was just her being afraid. After they parked the car, her intuition was telling her to not get out, but she did. After only a few steps out of the car, her foot hit something. She looked down to see a wallet. She picked it up thinking it was one of her friends, but was horrified when she opened it. There was over 20 IDs in the wallet. Quickly told her friends to get back in the car, and they never looked back. Even today, she still wonders what happened to all the people whose ID were in that wallet.
I don't get it. Suburban kids. More likely suburban white kids. Why is going to abandoned insane asylums and psychiatric hospitals and wards a fun outing? I never understood that. I mean, it makes for a good horror film, but just to say, hey, we got the night free to ourselves. Let's go see what go bumps in the night. No, I'm cool. I'm good. It just makes no sense to me. That's why the plot in all these movies, that's what it's about. Haunted houses and the abandoned mill. But it's like, dude, why am I going to spend my weekend, my Friday night? Like, it don't even make sense. Nah, I'm good.
Cursed games you should never play, part 7. The elevator game. The point of this game is to go to a parallel universe. To play you need to go to a building that has at least 10 floors. And you need to be the only one in the elevator at all times. If somebody interrupts the game, start over. Then go to the floors 4, 2, 6, 2, 10 and 5. In this exact same order. Once you're in the 5th floor, a woman should enter the elevator. But don't speak to her and don't look at her, because she's not a human. And she will take you and keep you with her forever if you interact with her. Then press the 1st floor and the elevator will go up or down, but it will take you to the 10th floor. At this point, leave the elevator immediately. The woman will ask you where you're going, but do not respond. If you see a red cross outside one of the windows, then you reach the other world. You're alone there, your phone doesn't work and it's dark outside. Go back to the steps all over again. But when you reach the 1st floor and something doesn't feel right, don't leave the elevator, because you will die. Would you play this game?
Like, where do these games even come from? Or how do these games come about? They've got to be, historical games from... Well, for this game specifically, we know at least as long as elevators have been around. But my point is, like, who's playing these games in the modern era? But for these stories and these myths or whatever to travel decade after decade, I'm sure they was playing this back in like the 70s or something. But... Who would play that? I'm not going to 2 to 4 to 2 again to 10, and then lo and behold, a random lady walks in. Like, I don't play or mess with any of this type of stuff. Like all this Bloody Mary, let's play Ouija boards, let me play this light as a feather, whatever these games that kids think are fun games to spook themselves out with and just play them on these slumber parties or nights in. Never been a fan of that. Never wanted to join, because I know there's a fine line between, the physical and the spiritual realm. Like there's a fine line, and people don't understand that you just playing with these things, you're just inviting things. So why would I even play a game that I gotta travel in an elevator alone, going to 5 to 6 different floors, so I can encounter a lady and just not want to be murdered by her? If I be quiet and I don't say the wrong thing, she won't kill me. Sounds like a fun game, don't it?
The creepy story of the red dot. So one night a girl was sleeping when a giant spider crawled across her face. It stopped for a few minutes on her left cheek and then walked away. She woke up the next morning and looked in the mirror. She noticed a small red spot on her cheek but didn't think much of it. She went to school like usual. But when she came home from school, the red dot doubled in size and became a boil. So she booked an appointment with her doctor, but the doctor couldn't see her until the next day. She tried not to worry about it and went to bed. When she woke up the next morning, she screamed. Her boil burst open and there were thousands of little spiders crawling all over
Them
her.
baby spiders.
Videos that seem innocent but
baby
have a
juniors.
terrifying backstory. Part 5. This man kept finding food in his apartment that he wasn't eating, so he asked his girlfriend about it and she said that she wasn't eating it either. He didn't believe her, so he set up a video camera to catch her eating the food in the middle of the night. The next morning, when he checked his video camera, he found footage of a woman that he didn't recognize walking throughout his house. He called the cops immediately, and as it turns out, she had been living there for weeks. This next video shows 24-year-old Hollywood actor James Dean giving a public service announcement on the importance of safe driving habits. Nearly a week later, Dean was killed in a head-on collision where he crashed his Porsche at an intersection. The following is a home video of serial killer Jeffrey Dahmer taken on Thanksgiving Day. At the time this was taken, he had murdered and eaten the flesh of 9 people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Like I said before, it gets too expensive and it does. I have to start eating at home more.
Hell nah. Dude over here talking about his Thanksgiving dinner. Wow. Flesh and all. Flesh and bones. Dude said fast food's too expensive. I'm on the cannibal diet. If you don't get your... That's crazy, Corey, man. Comment down below. Let me know y'all's thoughts on this in the comment section below. We'll see y'all in the next video, man. Peace, love, prosperity. God bless.